Hello, I'm Chaplain Mary Ann Danks, and today, as part of our Good Friday meditation, we're going to hear the 7 last words of Christ. And Chaplain Paul Arnold will be joining me in this meditation. Jesus' first words on the cross. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Pilate had Jesus scourged. The soldiers put a crown of thorns on his head. Jesus carried his cross, and on Calvary he was nailed to the cross. Jesus' physical suffering was intense, so was his emotional suffering. The Jewish leaders plotted against him. His 12 apostles, except for John, had deserted him. Judas betrayed him. Peter denied him. And yet Jesus forgave them, all of them. Lord, may we learn how to forgive as you forgave.
The second last words of Christ. Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise. Jesus was crucified with 2 thieves, one hung on his left, the other on his right. Jesus was in the middle. The thief on the left chided Jesus. "If you are God's son, then save yourself and us." The thief on the right said, "Be quiet. We deserve to die. This man is innocent." Turning to Jesus, he said, "Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom." "Truly," Jesus said, "today you will be with me in paradise." Lord, help us to see ourselves clearly, to own up to our faults. Then we can turn to you, like the good thief, for mercy.
Jesus' third words on the cross. Woman, here is your son. John, here is your mother. At the foot of the cross stood Jesus' mother, Mary, Jesus' aunt, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene, along with the only one of the 12 to stay, John. Jesus wanted someone to look after his mother. He wanted to make sure that she would be cared for. Who better than John, who had stood by him to the end? Jesus, even in your own suffering, you saw the need of your mother. Help us to see beyond our own needs, as you did.
fourth last words of Christ, my God, why have you forsaken me? Jesus has given himself over in trust every step of the way to Calvary. He was silent before Pilate. He accepted the cross. Now, in great pain, Jesus turns to the Father in prayer. He prays the opening verse of Psalm 22, a psalm that begins as a lament but ends as a prayer of ultimate trust and praise. We can understand how Jesus must have felt as he cried out in pain, overwhelmed on the cross. And sometimes we wonder where God is when we are in a crisis, when any tragedy befalls us. Lord, you understand my doubts. You understand my crisis of faith. You help me to renew my trust as you did in your cry for help. Help me and help all of us to know that you will never forsake us. You will always be with us.
Jesus' fifth words on the cross, I am thirsty. Jesus has been hanging on the cross in the afternoon heat. He has been sweating and bleeding, and he is in great pain. Someone runs, soaks a sponge in common wine, and raises it to Jesus' lips. Lord, your request, I am thirsty, inspired someone to get you something to drink. Help me to be attentive to those simple requests that come my way, the ones I might be tempted to brush aside. A small action on my part may bring comfort to another, as the person who ran to get you a drink must have brought some comfort to you.
Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they laid him in the tomb?
The sixth last words of Christ, it is finished. It has been a long journey for Jesus. He listened carefully to hear what he was being called to do. He listened during those times of prayer in the desert, in the mountains, and by the sea. And Jesus' call had led him to the cross. He has stayed the course to the end.
Jesus' last words on the cross. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. Jesus' life is quickly ebbing away. He has been hanging on the cross for 3 hours. Jesus gives up everything. He lets go of this life so that we might have life. He gives his spirit into his Father's hands. When we think of our own death, we may become afraid. What will it be like to die? The human part of Jesus struggled with these questions too. But in the end, that relationship he had nurtured with the Father won out over the fear. Lord, help me to grow in my love and in my trust. Calm my fears, so that when my life here is over, I too may say with confidence, "Into your hands I commend my spirit."
On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross, where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. To the old rugged cross I will ever be true, its shame and reproach gladly bear. Then he'll call me someday to my home far away, where his glory forever I'll share. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown.
These are the 7 last words of Christ. One candle remains burning. That symbolizes the light of Christ, and it does not go out. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness does not overcome it. We keep silent watch, awaiting the coming joy of the resurrection.
There on the hill the people were still, his people can be if we will simply obey. Years have gone by, and I know that I was totally changed that day. I love him still, the man on the hill, the Savior who showed me the Oh Lord, direct this life to follow Jesus, to learn the truth that truly sets me free. Oh Lord, enrich this life with love for Jesus. Commit my all, my heart and mind and soul. Oh Lord, enrich this life. Commit my all, my heart and mind and soul. Oh Lord, inspire this life with love for others, and make us one for all the world to see. And may we bear the fruit of sweet fulfillment, of joy and peace and gentle self-control. Oh Lord, this life of joy and peace and gentle self-control. Amen. Amen.